Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, my name is Kopano Ramashala, founder and managing director at Bakwena Telecommunications. Today we're going to dive into a subject matter that's been asked about so many times. The comments and people have just been on my case about this subject matter, and it's about what software one needs in order to run and manage their public Wi-Fi hotspot. And without further ado, let's get into it. Now, before we get into the meat of things, one thing I'd like to do is give a great thank you to everyone for engaging with the content, liking it, the subscribers, and those who have been going even the extra mile by dropping me emails and even joining me for the free 30-minute consultations that I've been giving. Believe you me, I love it a lot, and thank you for finding great interest in this content and acting on it. So with all that said, now there's various options that one could look at when looking for the perfect software for running one's hotspot business or hotspot wireless setup. But I'd like us to look at 5 requirements that will have you choosing the right type of thing when you're looking for your perfect software. And they start with hardware compatibility. Does that software require you to have a specific type of hardware in order to run it? Number 2, is it cloud or locally based, or is it hardware based even? Number 3, the types of integration that you can do with that software. Can you integrate a paywall? Can you integrate multiple things, of which we'll go through whilst we're going through the types of software that I've chosen. Number 4, is it? Yes, number 4. What features does the software have? Number 5, is it paid for or is it free? Which is number 1 on some people's lists. So without further ado, let's get into it and start with the most demanded, the most questioned about, the most commented about software, and that is TP-Link's Omada. So we're gonna go through TP-Link's Omada with the requirements that we have listed, and we'll start by hardware. What hardware does one need in order to run TP-Link's Omada? Well, let's have a look at my screen right here. As you can see, these are all of the models of hardware that are supported by TP-Link's Omada cloud-based controller. And as you can see, it starts by all of the ceiling mount access points. These are indoor internal ones. Our outdoor ones, which are the ones that we'd most likely be looking at. You've got your AEP610s, your AEP200 series, your 650s and your 225s. And there's also, my mistake, and there's also some GPON versions as well. So those are the ones, some managed switches and some smart PoE switches and routers, etc, 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 as you can see. So that's point number 1, the hardware that you're gonna need. Gonna need hardware that's from the TP-Link family. So it's a bit of nepotism, as you can see. Point number 2, is it cloud or self-hosted? Well, you can choose between both. TP-Link has the ability to have the cloud supported software. Well, that will be the Omada cloud-based controller, which has 2 versions. It has Omada Cloud Essentials, which is the free, mahala, gratis one, but it has minimal features. which talks to our third point of features. And you have your Omada Cloud Standard, which has all the features. Now, with what we want to do, you'd want to have all of the features, and the most important features that I have here are obviously abundant security features, abundant captive portal types, and the ability to have multiple sites, multiple geographies, and to manage them. And that's your biggest key things that you look at in terms of the cloud ones. And with regards to the cloud standard one, it's a paid for service. So those who have been saying, hey, Omada is the best because it's free, it's not really free, guys. But one thing you must know, you can have Omada Cloud Standard. However, if you're gonna self-host it, that's when it'll be free. But that means you're gonna need a server. And that means you can only have one hotspot where you have a server, unless you're planning on having multiple servers in multiple geographies and multiple sites, and that's not cost effective. So that's that, as you can see on my screen. So yeah, we jump on to the next point, and that's integrations. Can you have integrations, for example, paywalls and payment gateways linked to it? Nada. Omada Cloud or the Omada controller is simply made to control its hardware at multiple sites, whether it's businesses, cafes, and so on and so forth. No paywalls or anything special like that. But I'm sure you could manage to do something somewhere, somehow. But yeah, it's gonna take a lot of effort. And last but not least, what features does it have? You know, like, as we said, you got your zero-touch provisioning, unlimited management at scale, and that's obviously the cloud standard, the abundant security features, wireline optimization, backups and restore, reports, etc., etc. So those are pretty much very good features. However, you're gonna have to load this on a server or pay. And a lot of people don't want to pay, which is the last point. Is it mahala or is it paid for? You're going to have to pay for a cloud subscription. Also, by adding each device, you pay around about 10 USD. So if you do the maths, if you've got 10 hotspots, you'll be paying 100 USD. We're not even talking about the amount of users. So with all that said, let's go on to the next one, which is Ubiquiti's Unifi. So with Ubiquiti's Unifi, as you can see on my screen here, it shows you what you'll basically need in order to be able to use Unifi's Cloud Manager. You're gonna need either a cloud gateway, cloud key, or host Unifi on Ubiquiti's official cloud service. Now we'll start with cloud gateways. As you can see, there are multiple gateways, and these gateways obviously feature Unifi on them, so it's already preloaded and you can thus connect it with your Unifi cloud software and be able to manage it from anywhere in the world. But it's not free in that sense, because as it speaks to point number one, hardware, you need this hardware in order to run Unifi for mahala in a sense. Number two, it's either you have your cloud key. Now, as I was mentioning, you need to have some sort of core devices in order to use Unifi and manage things with it. And yet again, another brand is practicing nepotism, and only Ubiquiti or Unifi devices can be used in this instance. So if you don't have a cloud gateway and you're using another gateway, you're going to need to use a cloud key. Last but not least, you can self-host on Windows, Mac, Linux, and yeah, yet again, like the TP-Link, you're going to have a server somewhere that is connected to your wireless AP and so on and so forth, which again is admin if you're going to have multiple sites that you're going to want to manage. And if you have multiple sites that you're going to want to manage, you're going to need cloud keys for each site so you can manage them via your cloud Unifi software. And that's where the official Unifi hosting comes in. And yet again, you gotta pay something from $29. So that's basically ticked a few boxes. Hardware, where it's hosted, you can host it on the cloud, self-host it. In terms of integrations and features, Unifi is quite broad, and in terms of features, there's a lot that you can do. There's captive portals, good security, VLANs, etc., etc. Integrations, you're going to have to jump onto their forums, speak to the gents. They do have some plugins that you can plug into your Unifi software, so you can integrate with certain pay walls or pay gates. And yeah, it's quite nifty. It's quite okay, but it doesn't go to what we really want, you know? So in terms of features and that, it's okay, but it doesn't get there. And yeah, it brings us to the last software that is my choice, my one of choice, and I did mention it in my previous video, and that's Powerlynx. Powerlynx is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to me, but let me not be the one that is talking too much. Let's have a look at my screen so we can check at how things go with Powerlynx. So in terms of hardware, it supports all major network vendors. So your Cambium networks, your Ubiquiti that we just talked about, your TP-Link hardware, all hardware that's got open WRT, it can dala, your caddies, alles, you know. So it's basically that one uncle in your family that is friends with everyone, has no beef with anyone. They are with that side of the family, this side of the family, they are just friends. No nepotism here, they go with everyone, you know. So in terms of compatibility and hardware, you can use it with anything, like literally anything. Number two, is it cloud or is it self-hosted? This is definitely cloud hosted. It's simple in that sense because you can obviously manage from anywhere in the world, as well as manage equipment and hardware anywhere in the world. So you could literally have an access point in Dubai. You could have another access point in a Shisanyama in Gqeberha. You can have another access point at a restaurant in Sandton, and could be managing all of them from a beach in LA, you know what I mean? So that's the beauty of it. And yeah, man, cloud systems are just simple and cool like that. And then in terms of integrations, it's wonderful. You can integrate it with the most popular payment systems, your Safaricom's, M-Pesa, your PayPal's, your Stripe, your Netcash, your Peach payments, like etc., etc. But the reason why I want to stress in terms of these type of integrations is that you don't want to find yourself paying or selling vouchers by hand and by cash. Printing them out, you know, we gotta save them trees. And you know, having them at certain spots or having them at your only location to say, I need to have a vendor at this spot to sell people vouchers, and then the cash grows feet at some point and then you're in fights, and it's not cool. It's not cool. So when you integrate it with such payment gateways, for example, with Peach Payments, in South Africa, we have something called a 1 for You voucher. You can go to any spaza shop, tuck shop, ShopRite, Pick and Pay, alles. Go buy yourself a one for you voucher, and you can recharge, and your hotspot voucher is activated and you can use it. Simple. Your M-Pesa, like the best, for me, the best system ever. Like you can literally transfer money from your M-Pesa wallet and buy yourself a hotspot voucher, and it's done. So if you're in Kenya, Mozambique, all of those places, it's lovely, seamless. So that's the type of things that you need, you know what I mean? And then integration or feature-wise, we were on integrations. So features, as I said, you can configure multiple tariff plans. You've got graphs and reports. You can white label your captive portals. You can have multiple captive portals. I mean, you can have a captive portal for that access point there in Dubai, you know, that's fancy, that you can see all of the nice people of Dubai. And then you can have one for your Shisanya, Maren, Kubecha, and one in Sentin. Could be completely different. I mean, even if you have a restaurant that is your customer, that you have an access point set up in, you can brand it in their branding. So there's lots of things that you can do. Nice features, beautiful. And then lastly, is it paid for or is it mahala? Is it free? Is it gratis? It's obviously paid for. If they're hosting on the cloud, they have to pay for some servers somewhere. But what I like about this price point as well is that, fair enough, you've got a license limit of certain amount of customers. But the one thing I've seen in most of these softwares is that you pay per access point that you have up. With Powerlynx, you can have as many as you like, you know. It's just up to the simultaneous users. For example, the minimum package of $50 a month requires you to have maximum online users, 210 users simultaneously. So you could have 10 hotspots with 10 users on simultaneously, and you'll be fine with your $50. But let me fill you in on a small anyana secret. If you use the link in the description, you'll find yourself with a good present. After 60 days of use, I'll score you 100 USD in your pocket for you to use any way you want to. You can use it towards your Powerlynx subscription, or you can even put it in your pocket, spend it on the madam, or spend it on your partner if you are a madam, you know what I mean, or your children even. So yeah, don't forget, click the link in the description, sign up for Powerlynx using my affiliate link. But yeah, in closing and in conclusion, there are plenty of software controllers out there. It's up to you which one you want to choose, which one you want to use, depending on your pocket, depending on how many APs you're going to want out there, how many hotspots you're going to want out there. You want to start small, you want to start big, etc., etc. I mean, for example, on Powerlynx, one of the good features that I love is the ability to run ads. So that's an additional revenue stream, you know what I mean? So you need to consider such things, and in your choice, you'll make the perfect choice. Which one is which one for you? And with all that said, guys, we've come to the culmination of yet another informative episode, but I want to invite you for a series that I'll be doing step-by-step setups of how to configure this software and this hardware for it to work. I'll be doing this with my fave, of course, Powerlynx, so you guys get to see how it all works and how it all integrates step by step. So I really urge you to share, like, and subscribe so you can catch the up and coming series where we'll dive into the nitty-gritties of things and configure them. And then you'll be able to rewind, fast forward, pause, rewind, fast forward, pause, and do it yourself and be like me in a year or two and be, you know, flowing like that. So yeah, thanks very much for everybody that's subscribed already and that's engaging with the content. Be sure to continue. Be sure to throw me as much emails as you want, as you can, and ask questions as much as you want and as you can. As I said, I love it. I love engaging with you, and it's been a pleasure once again. Till next time, I'm signing out. Kopano Ramashala, and yeah, make the right choice. Click the link in the description for Powerlynx. Get your 100 Rand Mahal.